All right, coming back. Let me make sure my voice is recording because Esau's trying to do everything he can to come against brothers making videos. All right, man, they're about to slide these vans on brothers, man, and that's another thing we got to understand. I need to get back into this. I didn't even really read this yet, so let me get back into this. Ecclesiastes 12:2. Will the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain? That's talking about before the nuclear bombs go off. Because when the nuclear bombs go off, you're not going to be able to see the stars or the moon or the sun or anything in the so-called heavens. All right. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and that's your people that are your head of households today, that are currently in the streets, cleaning these shelves off and buying 2 tons of toilet paper and clearing, buying food and all kinds of stuff. There was reports of looting in Philadelphia I saw yesterday, and basically the police department has been asked to not respond to any type of looting, any type of domestic response, domestic violence, or anybody that has a bench warrant or any basically like low-level crime. The police are not responding to because of people's reaction to this stock market collapse. We're just going to call it what it is. People are going to say it's this stupid virus, but that's exactly what they want people to think, that the market has collapsed due to this virus, as they try to resuscitate it and bring it back if they can. But the Most High said that He's against them. All right, let's continue reading the prophecy. It says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. Why are people trembling? Because they're scared. All right. And the Most High, he already ordained all this. This was something to happen to the world that believes in these world governments like they're God. That's the beef that the Most High has with the world. One of the bigger beefs is because the world worships these central governments and these central banks in replacement of things that the Most High deserves glory and recognition for, which is basically life. But that's another subject. All right, and let's see. And it says the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders as a strong man. All right, so these are all your people in your so-called middle class out there now that don't have nothing to say. All right, this is this guy. You don't have anything to say. What can you say? You worshipped and you believed in this system all the way up until now with all your generations. You put all your money, you put everything you had into it, and it still is failing. All right. It's giving out death croaks. All right. This is what this is. It's swirling the drain. So people are like, oh, well, maybe it'll come back. When it's doing this type of shit, they, like my elder brother said, they got the paddles on it, man. It's on the table. This is a whole week straight where the stock market has been in all red. And before, I noticed they were able to do things to it to cause it to, appear to be a certain type of way, but now they can't do shit to it. And so this is a beautiful thing, man. They got oil prices virtually zero in a matter of a couple weeks. I remember looking at the gas board and it was like a whole $2 more expensive a month ago. And so this, people don't realize that this type of shit is the pre-wake before hyperinflation. This is the like, when a lake or like the ocean tide, it moves off the moon. This is like the economy let you know that it's about to blow up. And the dollar's about to collapse, all right? And so, but they're using this virus as a scapegoat to keep people's attention and concern away from this, because they will have to accept ultimate responsibility to the general public when they have to explain to people why China wants to go to war with America now, because they let off a biological weapon in their country to prevent them from one-upping the petrodollar. Or, that's a minor thing. That's something that just happened last week. Or we could go back to things that, this world has been developing, which is its own self-destruction. All right, this planet cannot sustain life in the way that it's been asked to for the next couple decades, and there's just no possibility of it. All right, this is the kingdom of the wicked, man. And these Edomites are in control of the world today. They will accept full responsibility for the destruction of today's society. All right, when the general public's being murdered, all right, or they're starving to death, or cannibalism has hit off, or all these things are going to happen. This is why it says in the scriptures, the strong men shall bow themselves, which means, like, you see some of these, people out here, they think they're ready for martial law, when the scriptures tell you there ain't no way you getting through this, man, unless you have the Most High with you, because it's gonna be automatic gunfire out here in these streets, man. There's gonna be explosions. There's gonna be, and if you're in an inner city, like right now I'm in the metropolitan area of Denver. This is not a good place to be. All right, when shit hits off, because they're gonna lock these cities down, and they're gonna lock the highways down and the corridors, which, let me remind you, the way that they have the infrastructure in the U.S. set up is very restricted, and it can be controlled and mitigated very quickly if they have to. All right, but you people in the cities, man, when that King Soopers or your local grocery store doesn't get that truck, my nigga, listen to me. When your local grocery store or your place where you go get whatever you put in your stomach every week don't have nothing for you, and they don't know what to say, the employees don't, you better believe them CEOs that run that company are already in their deep underground military bases, and they got a stockpile, and they gonna let everybody shoot it out up here. They're gonna let the general public shoot it out, and they designed it the way that it has been thus far. And people will look back and realize that the way they set this place up is ultimately for this day that's coming, which they call it the melting pot, because all these people, nationalities really ain't supposed to be mixing like that, according to the Bible. And so, they got everybody in America strapped up. You got people sitting on stockpiles of weapons and ammunition, and it's just gonna be a show, man. And this is all according to the scriptures. This is why it says the strong men shall bow themselves down, because even they gonna be wimping out, because people don't have an answer for this. Like, they just closed the restaurants and some of the gathering places for people in large number due to this so-called virus. But these companies, they can't sustain business anymore. They can't afford to put shit on their shelves or pay their workers anymore. And so that's why they're looking at the government asking for a bailout again. But everybody else is concerned with this virus, and they're thinking this virus is the reason that this shit ain't on the shelves. But and just imagine when people really realize that at the bottom level that we're at, that the dollar has collapsed. All right, and this is something that has been designed and schemed for decades. All right, and we're going to be at the bottom of that, man. People in the so-called middle class that is non-existent anymore in America, or in the bottom, or in where we are as Hebrew Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which would be called the minorities. They got shit for us, man. They got stuff that's going to be designed to eliminate us as ethnic groups, all right? Because the controllers of this world do not want to share the world with the mass population anymore. They want to hog everything, and they want all the money, they want all the land, and they want everything under their control, which they've already basically established in their ghost governments, all right, these central banks, all right, these straw man governments that they've established, where people believe they vote and actually have a fucking, a say in who gets elected. All right, and that's another subject, but we're talking about this martial law right now. We're going to cut this video and